Welcome to another edition of K Speaks. I'm K Speaks, and you know what the saying is: when K speaks, you listen. Why? Because I'm going to save you time and money, two of your most valuable resources. One, you can never get back again. So I was just thinking that I want to do a really quick video, and trust me, it's going to be quick because I'm on my way to work. Yes, I work. I'm going to title this one Gayle, Oprah, and the Hypocracy of the North American Female. Gayle, Oprah, and the Hypocrisy of the North American Female. Now, Gayle and Oprah have been quite the stir lately within the last 2 weeks or so. One, because of what happened to R. Kelly, which I probably will do a video on all that, but I'm not quite sure. Two, Oprah defaming Michael Jackson after she's broke bread with him, sat in his house, been his biggest cheerleader, supposedly supported him. She waits almost 10 years because he hasn't been dead exactly 10 years yet. It'll be 10 on the 25th of June this year, 2019. He hasn't even been dead 10 years yet, and she's already stomping on his legacy and whatnot, which I don't know if he did or he didn't do the things that they claim he did, but the court of law proved that he didn't. He's under, FBI investigation. They proved that the man didn't do the things. Mike was probably just a weird guy, and there's lots of weird, socially awkward type people. And, considering the childhood he went through with Joe Jackson being all on his junk about things and being the father that Joe Jackson was, I'm thinking that maybe Mike didn't really have a childhood. Joe pimped those kids into working and singing from the time Michael was like 4 or 5 years old. So you think about it, he's been a celebrity all those years. He has to grow up fast, and he didn't have time to really grow up, like to spend his childhood doing child things. You know what I mean? He was an adult at an early age, and I think that's probably the reason why he was like he was with little kids and stuff, like innocent, like that. I don't want to say he's innocent, but at the same time, I don't want to incriminate him either, because I understand his background. Anyway, Oprah broke bread with him before he was dead. She was in his house. He invited a lady in his house. She's taking pictures of him and stuff. It was cool. And she waits almost 10 years for her to slam him and do the things she's doing, which is really jacked up. The man's not here to defend himself. He can't really respond to any of the allegations that she's putting against him, or these little nitwits that are coming out who are already proved to be liars, coming out and saying that he's done this and done that. So they've already been proven to be liars and stuff. So why would we even listen to people who've already lied to try to get money from this man? Oprah should be ashamed of herself, man. Honestly, she should just really be ashamed of herself. And Gayle interviews R. Kelly, and she's cold as a robot, man. You can tell that she comes into the interview with her opinions already formed. Now, the thing about an interview is this: when you interview somebody, your basis, your way of thinking, your opinion shouldn't really be interjected into the interview. An interview, the questions should be basically like questions that are, that people want to hear, of course, but it shouldn't be your opinion. You shouldn't have your opinion in the interview. You should be asking questions so that people can get information. It should be somewhat of a non-biased interaction, based strictly on facts. Questions that are meant to get facts from the interview. And what she did the whole time was input her and inject her feelings and her emotions and her thoughts of what this man was about into the interview, and all the questions were that way. And then, of course, he's at his breaking point, so he releases himself, and he lashes out, but not necessarily at her, but because of the situation. And all she does is like, oh, Robert, and stupid stuff like that to kind of demean the man even further. You know what I mean? It just leads me to believe that these two women are not only out to destroy men, but they're out to destroy black men in particular. And I think that you're starting to see that black men are becoming the face of sexual depravity, because of these two, because of the media for one, and then the bad thing about it is that they are using black women to do this, which is really horrible. But if we want to keep this thing straight across the board, there's tons of men out there who have done dirty deeds. Elvis, a lot of people are not talking about Elvis. Elvis did a lot of dirty stuff, man. Elvis married Priscilla when she was 14 and pranced around with her for years. I mean, everybody knew it. Nobody said anything. So Oprah, if you want to trash dead people, you should trash dead people who are actually proven to have done these things. Elvis was proven to have done it. I mean, it's common knowledge that Elvis married her after she was 14 years old. He was with her from the time she was 14 and walked around with her in public and nobody said nothing. Tons of guys that are not black that have done things like this and nobody said. But Elvis is the biggest one I can think of that's dead. So if she wanted to slam him post-mortem, then he would be the perfect example for her to trash. But you don't see her going to Graceland and doing anything like that. You don't see her going to Graceland and talking about how bad he was for sleeping with young girls and things like that, and messing with young kids. You don't see her doing that. Gayle could be on the same thing. She could be saying the same thing about Elvis as well. Since her focus was all on R. Kelly being with young girls, tons of white guys have been with young girls. Hugh Hefner slept with young girls all his life. I don't understand, and this is across the board, white, yellow, black, purple, alien, doesn't matter. Men between the ages of like 35 and 55 are at their sexual market value peak, and women when they're young are at their sexual market value peak. So it's kind of not normal for young women to be with older guys because they're both at their peaks at the same time. So that's not a strange thing. So for R. Kelly, like girls that are like just 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, I mean, it's kind of questionable, but at the same time, they're both at their market value peak. So what the heck? It is what it is. Old men have always been with young girls. Hugh Hefner was with young girls all his life, basically. So what's the problem? I don't understand what the problem is, honestly. Now the problem is when they're not legal. When they're young, 13, 14 years, that's a problem. I get that. But if they're of age, like, they're adults, man. What can you say? What can you tell these people? These are adults. They can make their own decisions. And, a lot of these girls that R. Kelly are with, there's two in particular, they even said that their parents sold them into that. They knew the parents knew what was going on. They wanted the money. And one of the girls even broke down. And Gayle interviews them and is really cool with them too, and trying to press them to say what they did in bed with the man and just all sorts of crazy stuff. And I'm so happy that one of them was lashed out and was like, look, you don't talk about what you did in your bed, so don't talk to me about what I did in my bed. Don't ask me nothing like that. Which was a really good comeback. I thought that was like the perfect thing for her to say. No matter what any of us said, that's not really our business. You know what I mean? It's not. She's 21 years old or whatever, so that's not our business. If she was 13, 12, that'd be different. 14 like Elvis, that'd be different. But she's a grown woman. She can make her own decisions. And it is what it is. I think overall, Gayle and Oprah need a tall glass of shut the heck up. And I think that they both should be a dang shame of themselves for doing what they're doing. Especially Oprah. Well, both of them. They're all in. They're both two peas in a pod, man. Really, they really need to be ashamed of themselves for what they're doing, and they have no shame in their game whatsoever. I say boycott them. I don't watch Oprah anyway. I'm just not an Oprah fan. I'm like Paul Mooney when it comes to Oprah. She always got to top you, You died yesterday, she died 2 days before you. You know what I mean? Oprah is just like that. Oh, you got a splinter? Oh, I got shot. You know, it's like, come on, Oprah. So Oprah's always been like that. You know, and I don't know who I'm talking to one day. I'm gonna be talking to fat Oprah one day, skinny Oprah the next. You know, she got me confused. So, you know, I don't mess with Oprah like that. So, but I feel like if they were gonna talk about anything, what they really should be talking about is all these teachers molesting young boys. You can go online right now and look up how many teachers within the past 3-4 months have been arrested for finding little young boys or for being with young boys, and you'll see that there's tons of them, 30, 40, 50 women female teachers that have been caught with young male students. And this is like an epidemic. And I think this all started in that Girls Gone Wild era of time, because, you know, they were out exploring their sexual liberation and their freedom. And these same Girls Gone Wild teachers, students became teachers, and then they start teaching little boys, and they never let go of that Girls Gone Wild thing. So it is what it is. They don't see any harm in messing with young boys. Now those teachers are probably like in their late 30s. But there's another generation after them that's come after them. So, man, it's crazy. You know, there's no shame in their game, and they're gonna continue to mess with little boys. But you don't see Gayle and Oprah coming for them, do you? And the nerve of these heifers, man, the nerve of them to come after the guys that are dead, to come after guys that have been not proven guilty, but don't go after these teachers who are molesting. That's molesting little boys. They're not of age. And I know a lot of guys will be like, well, yeah, man, but, you know, good for them that they got a young teacher. You know, I wish I could have, you know, and I kind of understand that. At the same time, I don't, because these are still minors, man. These are still kids. They might have grown-up bodies, but they're still kids. And we got to protect kids at all costs, man, whether it be girls, boys, you know, and we got to hold women accountable. That's the problem with the North American woman. She's not held accountable for anything that she does. She's got an easy scapegoat. She cries, she gets out of things. I've seen that. I've seen women cry and get out of things. They were completely at fault, completely wrong, but they cried a little bit and they got out of things, man. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing to see this stuff. But if Gayle and Oprah want to like attack people, attack Harvey Weinstein, Oprah, which is one of your big friends. You haven't said anything about him, and he's going to court right now too, from what I know. Attack these teachers that are molesting little boys and raping little boys that are, you know, they're statutory rapists because they're messing around with their students. Attack those people, man. Don't attack dead people. Come on, man. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. I gotta walk in to my 9 to 5, so to speak. But I just wanted to drop that one on you guys. Like, subscribe, share the video. Let me know what you think in the comments, because, you know, it's just a good conversation piece, man. Just a really good conversation piece, and it's just something that people really need to like get out there. And I just don't understand. There's just an epidemic of people that are like teachers that are messing with little boys or students, male students in schools, and nobody's saying anything about it. Gayle and Oprah are they're running amok. They're on a rampage, messing with like any black man that they can to bring them down, any man in particular that they can, and not messing with women that are doing that much or not, if not worse. So that's the end of this video. I'll be back with another one shortly. I'm trying to get these things popping out, because I know I left for a long time with no content up. So I'm trying to ramp the channel up again. But you guys have a good day. See you on the next go round.